Hello and welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. And today we are having a celebrity whiskey again. This time it's called Wolfie's and it's by Rod Stewart. Yeah, so look at the bottle. Is that, yeah, there's a wolf at the front, and we have Rod Stewart at the back on a label. And yeah, you can win a ticket, but I'm not quite sure when this will come out, so I'm not quite sure if this winning of the ticket is still a thing. But have a look at do a Google search and you'll find out. Yeah, I want to talk more about the whiskey and about the background. It is actually a blended malt, and it's a work between Loch Lomond and Rod Stewart, and he just wants to honor the Scottish whiskey as kind of it was the tradition of the Scottish whiskey, and he's a British singer, and that is kind of, the roots are the same, and that's what came out, the blended malt. At the bottom there should be a Rythm of My Heart. There should be a hint to Rythm of My Heart, but it's just Rythm of My Heart written on it. It's not a hint, it's just written there. The whiskey should be lightly peat smoked, and it was matured at least 3 years in bourbon casks. This is normal for Loch Lomond whiskey. And does it say blended malt or blended whiskey? Blended Scotch whiskey. That means blended Scotch whiskey means it can be from column stills as well, and at Loch Lomond they do grain whiskey, so there might be a grain whiskey in there as well. And what else? And it does not really have to be from any other distilleries as well. You can just teaspoon it. I mean, if you take a teaspoon of other whiskey, it's blended, and it doesn't affect the bottling at all. If you put a teaspoon in a 40,000 liter tank, nobody can tell me that another whiskey will have so much influence. Ooh, it's a nice what's the word? I don't know the German jet just now. Pleasant, sweet, very potpourri. What do you call it? Fruity fruit basket. That's the word. Fruit basket. It's a fruit basket. A little bit of a Christmas flavor in there. These like an apple, vanilla, and a little bit of cinnamon. That really reminds me a little bit of Christmas. So it has a little bit of Christmas feeling to it. Fruity, but sounds pleasant. And I do smell a little bit of that grain in there. Yeah, you realize that grain does have a bit of an influence in there. So yes, it's a blended whiskey. Definitely not a blended malt. Oh, it first hits you with a nice sweetness, and then you get a little bit of a peaty, smoky touch to it. But it's a hint of peat, of smoke. So that is in the 1, 2, 3, 4, maximum 5 ppm. No, that's not 5 ppm. That is less. So, wow. It's a nice, pleasant one. When you have it in your mouth, it does have a bit of that blended malt flavors, that little bit of that grain touch to it. That is a bit more flat than you have with the malts or the single malts. But I do like it. They have a nice mixture. You don't just have the flatness in the blend. You do have other flavors that come from the blend, and with this mixture, with the blending of the malts and the grain, you can make a nice whiskey. And I think The master blender, I got to know the master blender of Loch Lomond. He's a very knowledgeable guy, and he knows how to combine the different type of distillates of Loch Lomond very well. And yeah, that is the specialty about Loch Lomond. They are not about the maturation, they are more about the distilling, and they have so many different stills. They have the column stills, which they can do malt on, which they can't call single malt anymore. And they have tons of different stills, and they produce a lot of different new make spirits. And with that, in a bourbon cask, you can even have so much variety in there, and you feel that in that glass. You feel it's a more entry-level whiskey, but it's a very well-made entry-level whiskey. And yeah, Rod Stewart did have the good idea to go to Loch Lomond, because I've seen a lot of celebrity whiskies or celebrity grains, or what was that? There were some really bad ones out there, and this one is up there. This one is a good one. Yeah, with the, what was that? Not boxer, but MMA guy. He went to another distillery, but Loch Lomond is a good distillery, and you can make a good whiskey with that. And Rod Stewart did have the right choice to go with that distillery, with the Loch Lomond. They're knowledgeable guys. They made him a good whiskey. I don't think it's a high-priced one, from what I have here, but it's a good priced entry-level whiskey. Yeah. So that was it with my review of the Wolfies. Thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.